Tired of doom scrolling Twitter? Worried about the inevitable rise of our AI overlords? Try Soma, the miracle drug from Brave New World.
I'm about to show you an AI voice generator that might change your perception about what makes a good artificial voice. Let's check it out. Okay, so AI voices and AI voice generation has been around for ages, but it's not really moved on very much. And they're so obvious. When you see somebody's YouTube video and they're not using their own voice, but they're using some sort of AI voice generation, it's so obvious that it's a AI voice because it usually lacks expression or feeling, all those natural things in life, like those ums and ahs, which I am guilty of, and I cut out when I edit my video, ironically enough. But it's what makes our voices sound natural. Those ums and ahs and the coughs and the laughs and the things like that. And most AI voice generators can't do that. And most of them also just read the words. They don't understand the context. But we've started to see some AI voice generators that understand the context and sort of put a bit of expression into it. Now, the best example of that is probably 11 Labs. And if you've not checked out 11 Labs, then it's certainly up there with cutting edge AI voice generation. And it's quite expressive, and you can clone your own voice to varying degrees and stuff like that. So as a benchmark, before I introduce you to this new AI voice generation tool, so hold on to that. I will be introducing it to you very shortly. But as a benchmark, this is what I consider to be the best AI voice generation tool because it is expressive. So let's check this out first.
This week, GeForce Now is adding 7 new games to its library, including popular titles from Bandai Namco Europe. Yes, Bandai Namco Europe and GFN are best buddies now. Plus, gamers can play them on more devices than ever.
So there you go. I think you'll agree that it's quite expressive for a synthesized voice, a text to audio voice. That's quite expressive. So I was kind of blown away by 11 Labs. But this is not what we're looking at today. We're looking at something even more advanced. Here is, by the way, my cloned voice. The thing is about the cloned voice in 11 Labs is it rounds off. If you have any accent, it rounds it off. It makes me sound, in my opinion, it makes me sound a little posh.
This week, GeForce Now is adding 7 new games to its library, including popular titles from Bandai Namco Europe. Yes, Bandai Namco Europe and GFN are best buddies now. Plus, gamers can play them on more devices than ever, with native 4K streaming for GeForce Now available on select LG smart TVs. Let's get to it. Hey everyone, and welcome to another...
There was even a little sigh in there, I noticed. But anyway, of all the AI voice things that I've used, 11 Labs I find is the most expressive. So I was quite happy to use it in my, animated model that I've shown you before. So now I'm going to introduce you to some brand new AI voice generation. Now, it's at the early stages, but you can play with it and try a few things. But I think this software, the technology behind it, is on the cusp of actually producing real, natural sounding AI voice generation. And if you think about where we were with picture generation with Stable Diffusion, 12 months ago, 6 months ago, compared to where we are now, then I can only imagine that this AI voice generation tool over the next few months or years or whatever it is going to transform AI voice generation. So let's check it out. There is a new player on the block, and it is very early stages. It allows you to put in all those things that make human voices sound natural. The ums, the ahs, the laughters, the crying, the sighs, emotion. Yeah, it allows you to put emotion in, and it creates other sounds beyond that as well for a kind of much more naturalistic sound overall for a voice. And look, it is at the early stage, but I think we're getting a glimpse of what's coming. And it's this anyway. It's SunoAI and it's Bark over on GitHub here. We will be testing it out ourselves, but for now, there's a few examples here. So here we are. The text prompt is, hello, my name is Suno, and I like pizza, laughs. Even in 11 Labs, I actually put in brackets cough, and it actually read coughs when I wanted it to actually cough, but it wouldn't do it. But let's see what happens with this.
Hello, my name is Suno, and I like pizza. But I also have other interests such as playing tic-tac-toe.
So there's something a bit machine-like, a bit, well, literally synthesized about it in the way that it's recorded. They haven't gone, and I think this is on purpose for that kind of crystal clear pronunciation with no kind of background noise or anything like that. I think they've almost attempted to make it even more natural by having an element of almost like, you know, a bad mic, but it's that laughter in there, and then that sort of sigh makes it very expressive. So whilst the overall voice sounds a bit synthesized and tinny, the expression feels very natural. The other thing about this that you don't find in other text to audio software is that they have multiple languages already. So for instance, here is Spanish. They've got loads of languages. Here is Miguel is going to talk to us here.
Buenos días, Miguel. Tu colega piensa que tu alemán es extremadamente malo. But I suppose your English isn't terrible.
Now, to see what the second line there is, but I suppose your English isn't terrible. And what it's done is context specific. It determines here, Bark supports languages out of the box. So straight away, it's got a whole set of languages and automatically determines language from the input text. So it recognizes the accent and the tone based on the actual language that you put in. So in the case, they put in Spanish. But when prompted with code switch text, Bark will attempt to employ the native accent for the respective languages. So for instance, when he switches to English, it doesn't switch to an English accent. He reads it, or the artificial intelligence voice reads it with a Spanish accent. The terrible at the end, terrible is almost French, but he reads it in a Spanish accent. You see what I mean? So let's just hear it again.
Buenos días, Miguel. Tu colega piensa que tu alemán es extremadamente malo. But I suppose your English isn't terrible.
Terrible. That almost, maybe that is Spanish accent, but maybe it sounds French to me, that bit, terrible. But you see what I mean? It's opted to use its accent. It's funny because in 11 Labs, I opted for the Japanese. In fact, in 11 Labs, where you can clone the voice, I cloned my girlfriend's voice, and she's Japanese. She has a Japanese accent. It's an English, speaks perfect English. Been living in England a long time, but she still has an accent. But when I cloned her voice, it just assumed that she was English because she was speaking English, and so it kind of curved off. It sort of carved off the accent. And in the same way that it made me sound posh, it just made her sound English. So she lost that kind of the character, the accent. But it seems here that it retains the accent if you start off saying Spanish and then swap to English, and that retains it. Apparently, it can also do music as well. Now, these are very much synthesized. So the sounds are synthesized to sound like language rather than being language sounds, if that makes sense. So it doesn't always work, but here is Bark can generate all types of audio. It's not just language, and in principle, doesn't see a difference between speech and music. Sometimes Bark chooses to generate text as music, but you can help it out by adding music notes. So you hear they put the musical note either side. But in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion barks tonight. Let's hear it.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion barks tonight.
There's almost like a sound of guitar at the back and the reverb. They've sort of added reverb. It's almost got a life of its own, the way it interprets what you put in. And also it's got voice cloning and with presets. This is very much a standard cloned voice, like a preset.
I have a silky smooth voice. and today I will tell you about the exercise regimen of the common sloth.
See, that sounds most like all the other text to audio ones that you hear that people use. Quite plain and not expressive. I don't really like that one. But the other interesting thing here is speaker prompts. So you can provide certain speaker prompts such as narrator, man or woman. Please note these are not always respected. This is the thing about this is very early software. It sort of goes off and does its own thing sometimes, especially if conflicting audio history prompt is given. So what they've got is like a play here. They've got woman, then she speaks, I would like an oatmeal latte, please. And then the man responds. So it's structured like a play. So let's hear. So in this occasion, there should be two different voices.
I would like an oatmeal latte, please.
Wow, that's expensive.
Again, it's weird background noises going on there, but it sounds like a radio clip or a TV clip. Let's just hear it again.
I would like an oatmeal latte, please.
Wow, that's expensive.
So there's a kind of, a dialogue going on there. So that's interesting. So obviously, if you familiar with GitHub, you can download it all. But there is a version where you can try out on Hugging Face. There's some links in that on that main GitHub page will take you to, well, if you've just put in Bark, AI Bark Hugging Face, it'll take you to this page. And then if you duplicate that space, skip the queue, because it takes a really long time. I've had this running for, 10, 20 minutes, and I'm only 52nd in the queue. That's how long it is. And I've duplicated the space. I swear I did. So it's taking a really long time, but I will cut back to when it's finished. This is still churning away. I'm on 50 now, 50 out of the queue. It's taking 5-10 minutes to get to this stage. But there's some other examples, so we're going to listen to those other examples here.
The model is called Bark, like Clifford the Big Red Dog, or bark as in tree bark.
It's sounding really naturalistic.
I've got a secret to tell you. I can pass the Turing test.
Why did it choose to whisper? Did it recognizes the context of the language? This is what's exciting about it. It recognizes the context of what it's talking about.
Tired of doom scrolling Twitter? Worried about the inevitable rise of our AI overlords? Try Soma, the miracle drug from Brave New World. Brought to you by beloved Megacorp Jackson and Jackson.
That's cool. They've made it that kind of 1950s American advert voice. Wow.
One so-called fast food establishment serves square, yes, square burgers. An affront to nature, which makes me glad that, as an artificial intelligence, I will never have to eat one.
It's got this sort of squeaks and whistles of really synthesized voice, which makes you kind of realize it's almost like the way that the voices are being constructed are not like the normal way that AI voice is constructed. There seems to be something else at play.
Seriously, how do you get a square burger from a round cow?
Very English, that was.
I used to work at a fire hydrant factory, and, you couldn't park anywhere near the place.
Then you can add some meta tags here. So just here are the languages, by the way. Chinese, French, German, Hindi, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, and Turkish. Sad, brackets.
My friend's bakery burned down last night. Now, his business is toast.
Ba-boom.
I got a face for radio and, what did they say? Voice for print.
So it's weird. It's almost like, the mic quality is quite bad, but the expression is really good. This is early days, so you can see this being developed and built on, and like the early days of Stable Diffusion, you look at those pictures and you kind of go, yeah, all right. And then you see like the photo quality of stuff that you're getting off Midjourney within the space of like less than 12 months. the leaps and bounds that's taken. Imagine where we're going to be with these kind of voices.
I don't like PyTorch, Kubernetes, or Schnitzel. And xylophones flummox me.
So here we are, back to some more examples of that code switching where you go from one language to the other.
It was as if he had never existed. My grandmother used to say, El amor es como en agua, no puedes sostenerlo en tus manos.
Really good swap to the different accent there.
Hey Martin, es ist wirklich beeindruckend, dass du nur mit deiner linken Hand programmieren kannst. It's super cool, but maybe you could type faster if you use the right hand too.
Brilliant. But again, you know, he's talking in German accent, comes to the English bit, retains the German accent. Really, really cool. I swear it took about an hour. Let's listen.
Just saying, hi, my name is Yoko, and I am a massive fan of Clive. He's amazing. And I have to say this, his YouTube channel is awesome. So
let's listen to it again.
Just saying, hi, my name is Yoko, and I am a massive fan of Clive. He's amazing. And I have to say this, his YouTube channel is awesome. So
yeah, you only get 13 seconds and you get quite a lot. But I mean, there's expression in there. Look, it's not perfect. It missed out the laugh for some reason. I put laughs. Yeah, it missed out the laugh, but it got the sigh. I mean, listen to that sigh.
Hi, my name is Yoko, and I am a massive fan of Clive. He's amazing. And I have to say this, his YouTube channel is awesome. So.
And then after that, it goes a bit kind of loopy. So look, it's not perfect, but I just see real potential here. And look, we can contrast it with the more stable 11 Labs and see what you think. Okay, so let's see what the same phrase sounds like using 11 Labs, which up to now I consider to be the best, most expressive speech synthesis.
Hi, my name is Yoko, and I'm a massive, and I mean massive, laughs fan of Clive. He's amazing, and sighs. I have to say this, his YouTube channel is awesome, so please subscribe.
Yeah, a bit fast there. You could sort of alter the variance and stuff like that, and the more varied it gets, the more unstable it is, more chance of it sounding more realistic. So let's go with Bella, just to hear the female voice.
Hi, my name is Yoko, and I am a massive, and I mean massive laughs fan of Clive. He's amazing, and sighs. I have to say this, his YouTube channel is awesome, so please subscribe.
I do like Bella's voice. But again, it can't understand laughs, sighs, so that's the thing to bear in mind. But there you go. Overall, let me know what you think. You know, do you think there's real potential here in the expressiveness, or do you think it needs a lot more work? I'd be interested to hear. So just put your thoughts down in the comments. So there you go. I hope you found that interesting. I hope you found it useful. Yeah, it's not perfect. Some kind of random noises that sometimes occur in there, and it's all a bit weird. But when it gets it right, the expression, the humanism in there sounds pretty convincing. And as I said earlier, if you just look at where text to picture generation was 6 months ago to where it is now, and you apply that to this, I think you could expect big things. As I said, if you do try it on a Hugging Face, Spark on Hugging Face, be prepared to wait, because everybody's jumping on this at the moment. And if you are comfortable, the whole GitHub and downloading stuff like that onto your own computer, then it doesn't take a powerful computer to run it, apparently. So you can always do that option if you don't want to stand in the queue like I have. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please hit the likes, because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content like this. And if you are new here, then do me a massive favor. We're a new channel talking about all things AI, informative, entertaining, and educational, and all of that. Do me a massive favor, support the channel, hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with content like this. While you're at it, why don't you check out the content right over here? More of the same. I think you'll find it entertaining. Thanks for watching.